Hello and welcome back to the greenhouse. If you've not visited me before, welcome to Nova Scotia. Welcome to my channel, The Optimistic Gardener. My name is Steve Farley. So it is December the 21st, I think, something like that. A rather balmy day here in beautiful Nova Scotia. Not balmy, but balmy. 5 degrees, nice and warm here in the greenhouse. Snow on the ground still outside, but beautiful blue sky and the sun is shining in, so it's warmed the greenhouse up nicely. So nice, don't have to wear a woolly hat today. So I'm in the greenhouse, obviously outside snow, can't do a lot of work in the garden in the snow. It might look pretty, but it's a bit annoying as a gardener. So I'm in the greenhouse, surveying the greenhouse, and I've had my first casualty of my 1 year of having this greenhouse. See, I've just noticed one of the panels has broken off. The glass panels at the back there has broken off, so I better fix that. Otherwise I'm going to have tons and tons of rain in here, which is not what I want. Not on that area anyway. So I thought, you know, surveying the greenhouse and looking at this centre bed here. Like I said, I've had the greenhouse about a year, and this bed is made up. I did it the old hugelkultur sort of way, where I put loads of rotting logs at the bottom, filled it up. That has two or three good things. A, it doesn't cost as much in compost to put in there. Didn't need as much because I've got a nice bit of wood, etc. The wood rots down, acts as a sump, rots down, acts as a sort of food source for all the microorganisms that help to feed the soil. So lots of good things about that. But as it rots down, obviously it sinks a bit. So, and the earth is settling a bit. So I need to put more compost earth in here. And I wasn't going to do that yet because I had a few experiments going over the autumn. So I was growing potatoes in here, which I wouldn't say was a massive success, but I wouldn't say it was a failure. I had some more, but I also dug these out today. Can't say no, some nice new potatoes, even if it's only 4. So not a great success, but they grew. So in my head, what do I need to do? Maybe I just need to put them in a little bit earlier and give them some more protection than I did give them. Maybe because I could have put another plastic covering over the top, giving them that little bit more protection so they could grow a bit longer. I also had a bit of a problem with a rat that moved in over the autumn time. Every time I kept coming in here, I'd find another great big hole, and he's been living in here and obviously burrowing around. Maybe that sort of disturbed him. I think that's one of the contributing factors of why my broccoli's not doing as, I'd say, is a complete failure. Also, they've got a bit of whitefly in there, which is obviously not good. Anyway, I digress, and that's not what we're here for. Seeing as my sort of experiments have come to an end, semi-success, semi-failure, or big failure, I thought, by the way, I got rid of the rat. Unfortunately, I had to use a rat trap, and he's off somewhere now. But so I thought I'd give the bed a makeover. And one of the good things, I'm an organic gardener, so what I'm going to do is put some more compost in, or actually I've got some nice well rotted manure in there that I was using for various different things during the year. So I'm going to fill as much as I can of the bed up, but also I've got some wood ash, which is obviously why we're here. So wood ash is a fantastic, again, free resource. So that's good in my book, but it's got lots and lots of really good minerals and trace minerals and elements and all that sort of stuff. It's made up of I think something like 40% calcium carbonate, 10% potassium, and 1% phosphorus. So those, potassium and phosphorus are really important minerals, elements for the gardener. And calcium carbonate is a very alkaline substance, so that is good here in Nova Scotia, or anywhere that has very acidic soil, which we do here. We've got lots of I have blueberries growing all around the sort of garden wild, and they love acidic soils. So and potatoes like acidic soils as well, but most other vegetables actually prefer a more alkaline, even if it's just a little bit of an alkaline soil. So putting some wood ash, mixing that in moderation, you don't want to put piles and piles of it in there, into your soil is going to help me keep my soil more alkaline, or at least more towards the neutral rather than more towards the acidic. And also I've got all those trace elements of those minerals that will go in there into the soil. So that's a fantastic resource. One of the things you don't want to use, mix the wood ash with, is any sort of fertiliser, ammonium sulfate or anything with ammonium in it, because if you mix wood ash with those sorts of fertilisers, they produce ammonia gas, which is not particularly good, so don't do that. But if you're an organic gardener like me, you don't really have to worry about things like that, because I'm just using things like compost, well rotted manure, mulches like leaf mould and all that sort of stuff, wood chippings, etc. So those sorts of things mixed in with your wood ash are going to provide a fantastic natural resource, natural feed for the soil. And that's what we're trying to do in all these different circumstances. Not feed the plant, we're trying to feed the soil, which is going to help feed the microorganisms, and they with the different fungi, etc., will work in that symbiotic relationship. There's me with that big word again, to help feed the plants afterwards. So we're looking to feed the soil. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up in here, get some compost in, and then we'll have a look at how I'm going to put the wood ash on. So there we go. That is most of the compost out of there used up. Still got a bit left. I'm going to bag that up. I can use that in pots next springtime. But this basically filled up nicely with some, as you can see, beautiful, crumbly, full-on horse manure, rotted down nicely. That has been a fantastic idea. That was a hotbed earlier in the springtime, and the heat from that was used to help keep my seedlings alive when it was still cold here in Nova Scotia. Then I planted cucumbers and melon in there, so I used it then, and the rich soil really helped grow lots of beautiful cucumbers, as you can see, and one melon. But that was a really good resource. Now I've used that in here, as you know, with the well rotted manure as a nice feed, because there'll still be lots of feed left for the bed here. So that's really good, and I'm going to top that up obviously with the wood ash. Now the wood ash, where are we? Actually, let me just get a mask. So I'm just essentially going to spread the wood ash nice and liberally. You're going to do this once a year, normally in the autumn time, sort of winter time. Want to wear a mask. Obviously, you know, that wood ash is very fine particles. Still got, you know, some, I'm not saying bad stuff, but you know, you don't really want to be breathing wood ash in. So there we go. Put that on in a sec. The wood that you want to be using is good quality, I'll say natural wood, so we don't want to be using treated wood, any painted wood, cardboard that you've burnt up, anything like that with the potential of chemicals, of pallets that have treated pallets, etc. Anything like that you don't want to be using. So really just the good wood that you'll get in a pile for your wood burner, wood fire from the trees properly, as they say. Anyway, let's get this mask on. I think we're all used to wearing masks nowadays. Am I being controversial? I don't know, putting a mask on. I'll have to use it like that. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to spread it liberally around. Just going to let this particles go down before I take this mask off. Right, I am just going to give this a little sort of forking in, or should I say raking in, not much. So again, I'm a no-dig gardener, so I want to disturb this soil, even though this is the topsoil bit, as little as possible. This topsoil obviously is disturbed, but you know, now, from now on, I want to be disturbing it as little as possible, so that all the fungi and the microorganisms can move in, spread their tentacles out, or whatever it is they're going to be spreading out, getting ready to sort of work with the soil to feed the plants later on next spring and summer. And hopefully I'll be getting lots of nice big juicy tomatoes, etc., like I had this year, even in my first year. And I normally find that the first year after I've made a bed, it doesn't produce the best vegetables. So this year coming up, I'll be looking forward to a bumper harvest of nice juicy tomatoes and peppers, etc. And early in the season, I'll be planting lettuce and arugula, rocket, all of that sort of stuff. So I'll be making a full use of this bed over the next year. There we go. Voila. Nice, easy resource. Obviously, first of all, I've used the well-rotted manure to top it up, but the wood ash, really good resource. Phosphorus, phosphate, helps to sort of, if you've got a really acidic soil, to bring the acidity down, sort of raising the pH levels up, which is better for your vegetables. And just, you know, it's got no nitrogen, so that's why it's not a complete fertiliser, but it's an excellent resource, and it was free. So I'm definitely going to say, job's a good one, and again, Merry Christmas.